All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Today we are going to talk about the entrances and I guess departures that I would see for the team this season. Well, I guess not really entrances because I don't really predict anyone to enter. If Mbappe doesn't come, then I don't see anybody coming other than Alaba, who's already here. But I do see a couple departures from the team and players that I would send out on loan and stuff like that, and players that are out on loan. Or that are already getting sent out on loan, like Brahim. But yeah, I kind of have it drawn up here in the three, whatever this is. What is this? A 3-2-3-2, 3-4-1-2 is what they say here. Yeah, I guess it's like a 3-4-1-2. And I have it drawn up here. So this is the way I would play it day one, or the first game in August. The reason that I have Mendy on the bench, usually I would probably have it like this, but I think Mendy is injured and he might not make it for the first game, which sucks. So that's how I would have it for the first game, and that's my bench. So we're missing a couple players. I have the whole squad here, but I'll go over the team first just so I can see who we have and who is coverage for each position. So if we play like this, that means that we don't really have wingers and we have two strikers here. And coverage wise, I have Jovic that would be a coverage for Benzema, and that would kind of be the only one there as a natural striker. But then I have Bale, Rodrigo, Vinicius that could also slide into these positions, specifically Bale, which leaves a couple players off the team, which I'll get to in a bit. I mean, for forwards, we definitely need, we have a plethora of forwards, and we would probably need to offload a couple or send a couple on loan if we're going to be playing like this. If we're going to be playing with wingers, I still think it's the same deal because we have Bale coming in, and yeah, I still think that we need to offload at least one forward. I doubt it's going to happen, just seeing the way that we do business. We'll just have a bunch of them on the bench, and then it's like the time that we had Bale just sitting on the bench and not really doing anything the year that we won the last title. But yeah, that's the way I would have it. Hazard if he's fit. If Hazard's not fit, I think Ancelotti would go for the safe option of Bale, if Bale's fit, or Vinicius, or maybe Rodrigo because Rodrigo's had the full preseason. I don't see too much of Jovic going beside Benzema. I mean, maybe the way that he played it in Everton, which I went over, was Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Richarlison's really a winger that comes off the left but plays more forward. So in that sense, that's why I would say there would usually be like a natural winger beside them, just to clog up this space on the pitch. Left wing back, right wing back, we have pretty good coverage. I didn't include any of the youth or of the Castilla players other than Antonio Blanco, which is this guy right here, because I couldn't find him. But I think Antonio Blanco will basically be a first team player. I'm not sure how much time he'll play for Castilla this season. But at the 10, we have two natural, or I would say Modric would probably play the first game just to play it safe, and he would probably be playing more of a deeper role, which would kind of leave the middle open. Well, Benzema would also be here, so we'll see how it will play out. I think that's the one position that Ancelotti will have to work on, because Modric isn't really a natural 10, but that's the way that Modric will have to fit into the team. And obviously he has coverage with Isco and Odegaard. And in terms of these players here, we have one replacement for Cruz, Valverde, and one replacement for Casemiro, which would be Blanco. Natural replacements, but I can see something like this happening. Like, for example, if we don't have Casemiro for a game, we could see Modric slide over here, Cruz over there, and then maybe somebody like Odegaard up here, or even Valverde come in and Modric stay up. Isco's played the 8 a lot as well. So I think with these 1, 2, 3 4, 5, 6, 7 midfielders to play 3 positions, even though we only really have one natural replacement for Casemiro and one natural replacement for Cruz. I think it won't be a problem because we do have versatility in that sense. Valverde played a role off the right a lot of the time when we played 3 at the back, or even as a 4-4-2. He played off the right a lot. I don't see him doing that too much now. If he is playing in this position, I can see maybe him covering for Carvajal back here, or Carvajal covering back, and maybe Valverde going up because he does like that right wing. On the left, we can have Mendy. I would say Marcelo would play the majority of the time here, which is good. He's always good going forward. He still is. He just has some problems defending, as we all know. But if needed, I'm sure Mendy can fill in that spot. We could also slot Lucas on the left, or Carvajal on the left, or something like that. I don't know. They'd have to be. Sorry, my chair keeps going down. They'd have to be creative in that sense. And we have Miguel as well, which is actually a pretty good attacking wing back. So I wouldn't see too much of a problem with our wing backs. The problem comes at our defense, because we have 1, 2, 3. Let's say if it's the ideal formation and Mendy's playing, that means we have 1, 2, I guess. I don't really like Vallejo at all. I think he is not. If you're a player that can't get playtime at Wolves, how the hell do you expect yourself to get playtime at Real Madrid? That's my way of looking at it. So like if one of these players go down with an injury, with a red card, with a suspension, we really only have Nacho. I wouldn't want to count on Vallejo at all. It looks like they will because they don't want to make signings, but I really don't rate him at all. I just realized Courtois is here twice. That's meant to be a winner. Yeah, so like that, Courtois, Lunin, and we'll always have a Casilla third goalie. But that's the way I would envision it. We're missing more than Mbappe. I think our number one concern should be a center back. My number one option here would be De Ligt. I think he would be like a perfect natural replacement for Ramos. He's young. He's a leader. He's a great defender. He can lead a back line. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. He can play in a back three. He's good in the air. He's good going forward. I mean, I think the most important signing, the most impactful signing if they made any this season, besides Mbappe, because Mbappe would obviously score many goals, but I think we'll still have a problem with our defense if we don't sign a center back. Because looking at it like this, that's a solid back line. Because as soon as one of them goes down, obviously you don't want to count on injuries, but as soon as one of them go down, you have Nacho come in, and you don't want to rely on only 3 center backs or you don't want to have 4 center backs or 3 natural center backs, because Mendy's not even a center back. So if you're a team with 3 center backs going into a season, it's not ideal, and that's not what you want. Vallejo comes in as, I guess, relief. I wouldn't rely on him. Last year we had 4 center backs. We had Ramos, Varane, Nacho, Militao. And Nacho and Militao at the beginning of the season didn't touch the field because it was always Ramos, Varane. Last season we had 2 major injuries to those 2 center backs. So we relied only on Militao and Nacho. Imagine that happened this season. 2 of our center backs go down. Heaven forbid. What if Nacho and Militao go down? Now we only have Alaba and Vallejo if we wanted to. So imagine that. We'd be forced to play a back 3 because Marcelo cannot cover as a left back. We can't rely on that. Say Alaba was out and Militao was out. This would be Vallejo. Did I spell it right? I don't think so. Vallejo. Now look at that back line compared to what you just saw. Not ideal. That team isn't winning, isn't holding Barcelona. That team's not holding Atletico. For me, or that back three isn't holding anyone. No matter how back these guys drop, no matter where Casemiro is. I think Casemiro, now thinking about it, can also slot in as an emergency center back. I'd actually rather him to Vallejo, if I was honest with you. So it would be something like that, or like that. But still not ideal. I think we seriously need help defensively. Well, when you lose your two starting center backs, it's obvious that you need two, or you need help defensively when you lose your two best defenders at the club. Anyway, now we're going to go into players that I didn't include in this, so we'll go through it. Odriozola, first of all. We have Carvajal and we have Vasquez as a natural replacement. Valverde can slot in there as we need him. Odegaard or Odriozola is not necessary for the team. I think he's a good player. I really liked him his first season here, but for me, he's excess. And when you're trying to make signings like Mbappe, and you need to make money, you got to get rid of the excess, get rid of the wages, and and make a transfer fee if you can. All these players are good. I really like Isco, but I can see him going if we want to keep one of our forwards. Dani Ceballos I guess he can fit. He could definitely be a replacement for one of these guys, but again, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 midfielders to fit 3 positions. Would we want a 7th one? I guess if they want to sell off Isco, I guess Ceballos can be the one that comes in, but I personally would rather Ceballos. I guess it's a toss-up, but in that sense, yeah. And then the big one would be Asensio. I don't really see him fitting into the team. I rate Asensio to a certain extent, but I don't 100% rate him. I think looking at all these players that I have on the bench, you don't need more than 4 forwards to cover for 2 positions on a bench. How many players is even this on the bench? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that's what it is. So 23, yeah, I think so. 12 make the bench, 11 starts, so that's 23, yeah. So that's actually how it is. You don't need 4 forwards on the bench to cover for 2 positions on the field. So that means that off the squad, I think Mariano for sure has no place. I don't rate him at all. And then you would have to get rid of either one of Asensio or, well, Kubo is on loan. Brahim's already gone. You'd have to get rid of one of Asensio, Bale if they don't want him at the team because of his wages. Asensio, Bale, Mariano's gone for sure, in my books. If he's gone, who knows? Asensio, Bale, Brahim's already gone. Kubo's already gone, or Kubo's not already gone, but I think he should if he's not going to play for Casilla. So you'd have to either get rid of Ceballos to keep, or you'd have to get rid of Ceballos and Isco if you wanted to keep Asensio and Bale, and I don't think that's going to happen. So one of these guys got to go. One of Asensio or Bale, and Ceballos or Isco. So 1, 2, 1 midfielder, 1 forward, and I think Odriozola should probably go too. Which would leave us with this: Jovic, Bale, or Asensio, depending on how they want to play it. I don't know. I don't think they can get rid of Bale, which is why I put Bale here. If in a perfect world, I'd rather get rid of Bale than Asensio, because Asensio is younger. Bale has higher wages. We can save a lot of money getting rid of Bale. I just don't see that happening. Rodrigo, Vinicius definitely stay. And then over here would be... how did I do this before? Right, okay. I was confused for a second. So Nacho comes here. And Militao comes here. You go there. That. Then Mendy. Like that. And like that. Okay, yeah. So you have 4 forwards. You have two 10s. They can also play 8. Odegaard played at the 8 last season with us. He played at the 10 with Arsenal, so it's ideal for him to play as a 10. But then we can have Modric slot in as the 8 right there. And then you could have, that's like if you're chasing a goal off the bench, we would want. And maybe Casemiro will come out for Cruz to just sit and play balls like a Jorginho role. So I think in terms of the midfield, we're set. Wing backs, we have a replacement for each. I wouldn't want much more than that. You want two on each side, and then we have from Casilla we have Marvin and we have Miguel that can slot in as emergency players. And then defense is where we're lacking probably one center back, and then goalkeeper obviously we're good. So from here, who would I get rid of? Varane's gone. Odriozola is not needed. Vallejo I would get rid of, but we kind of need him, which sucks. Ceballos gone for me. Mariano gone for me for sure. Kubo go on loan one more season because he won't really get much playing time. Ancelotti looks fucking great there. What a fucking sexy bastard. I'm rating him. I rate him. I think we're gonna do good with him. But yeah, then one of Asensio or Bale has to leave. I think they'll keep both of them. I think they'll keep Mariano. I think Kubo will go on loan. Brahim's already gonna go on loan. I don't know what they'll do with Ceballos. They might actually keep him. I think Isco will stay. And then I think in the defense, I don't think they'll sell any of these. I don't think they'll sell anyone, to be honest. Looking at it now, what do I see Real Madrid doing? I don't see them selling any of these people. Maybe Ceballos on loan, or maybe Ceballos they offload, and maybe Odriozola. But even then, I don't think Odriozola would really want to leave. So that's the way I would do it. And if there's any changes, you guys can let me know in the comments. But I think that's a pretty solid team and a pretty solid idea. So yeah, thanks. Take it easy. I don't know when the next time I'll make a video. If some news comes out later today or tomorrow, I might make a video tomorrow or Sunday. But if not, then I'll catch up on Monday. Take it easy.